Coming up on the pod today, dude, I'm in Chicago. First podcast from the road. Crazy. I'm going to talk about my first two shows in Chicago, and then the last one's tonight. That'll be a mystery, but I'm going to talk about the first two ones on the pod right now. Want to talk to you guys about tour dates. Next weekend, I'm going to be in San Diego at American Comedy Company for 4 shows, Friday, Saturday. And then I'm going to be in Sunnyvale, California, September 12th through the 15th. And then New York City, September 26th. That show is going to sell out. I'm pretty confident in saying that. You know, I'm not up here just yapping. I feel pretty good about that because the club seats, I think, 300 people, and there's about 80 tickets left, and we're a month away. So, New York City, get your tickets. I don't know if we'll add a show. And then I'm going to be in Stamford, Connecticut the next night on Friday, September 27th. And then a bunch of other cities, dude. Denver, Philly, Phoenix, all that stuff is in the description. Come out and see a show. I promise you'll have a good time. I work very hard, and it'll be fun for you. I promise. And let's do a podcast, dude. I'm in a hotel. Let's do a podcast. Action. Oh, wow. What a big moment. First road podcast. And yes, I'm going to address what you're looking at right now. I understand there's a towel on the couch. If you're listening to the podcast, you can't see how neurotic I am. But if you're watching it, you're like, damn, dude, this guy's next level. You don't even know how I am in a hotel room. I am OC. I'm like, you know that show Monk? Dude, I'm Monk in a hotel room. I got a towel in back of me on the couch because I'm not just going to sit on a couch that other people have done God knows what on. And I have a towel under my laptop, and I left my tripod at the club, so I have I'm using an ironing board as a tripod, and is there a towel under the camera to protect it from the raw ironing board? You're damn right it is. So yeah, dude, I wipe down everything in a hotel room. I bring a big old thing of Clorox wipes, and once I do my routine, I'm here. I'm in a great hotel. It's first time I've ever been in a hotel, dude. I got upgraded. What's good to a junior suite. For a junior guy, dude, I got 2 bathrooms. What? I'm in a 1-bed, 2-bath. What am I don't know what to do with the other bathroom. Is it like a poop only bathroom? Is it like what's going on in there? I almost could just open it up, maybe Airbnb the bathroom out. Airbnb bathroom. Whatever. I'm gonna cut this whole part out. 1 bed, 2 bath. Shout out, dude. I'm in Chicago. I forget if I said that yet. And the pod's up a little late, and I'll explain why. So, let me do, this is going to be a pretty standard tour recap podcast. We're going to do the travel stuff. We're going to do first show, second show, and then, yeah, that's going to be the podcast. Please subscribe. Please like it. It's like you hear it, but it's like you don't do it. So, like, please do it. YouTube, I have the lowest following on, and it's all good, but let's ramp it up a little bit, you know? And again, if you ever come to shows, just please tell me you're a podcast listener because you guys, dude, you guys know the real me, you know? You guys are the real ones. We're like a little indie group, little indie short film group. I love it, dude. So yeah, dude, I'm in Chicago, and it's just summer in Chicago is pretty unmatched. There may not be a better place. I'm staying at this hotel right near Lincoln Park. Not the band, but named after Abraham Lincoln, which I just found out now after going to college here and living for 4 years. Didn't even know it was named after Abraham Lincoln, the president guy. Couldn't be staying in a nicer area. I'm in like Old Town Chicago, and it's just like the nicest. You know what I feel like it is? It feels like better New York. Very similar feel and vibe, a lot of nature, very similar architecture. They have this giant park, as if it was Central Park, and it's just like it's like there's not as many people, it's cleaner, you just feel safer, it's just like better New York. And hot take, is that a hot take? That's like a mild take. That's like a Cholula take, you know? I love it here, man. And again, this is like a second home to me, so coming here is just so nice, man. And I did shows here last year. I did Zanies, which I'm here doing this time. And that's kind of like the club you do when you're here until you get to like a bigger level. You do kind of like maybe like the theater here or whatever. But Zanies is like where you play. And last year I did a Tuesday, Wednesday. Sold out the Wednesday. Tuesday came close. The club seat's 140, which is very unlike a normal club. Normally clubs seat between 250 and 300. But dude, Zanies seats 140. So it's like a sellout's very doable. And also, I've talked about this before. It's like the smaller the venue, the more intimate it is, the better the shows are. So this room can bang, dude. I remember last year on Wednesday was like, that show was one of the best shows of the whole tour, if not the best show. So I was excited to come back here. And I thought that I would be getting, because I sold out the Wednesday last year, I thought I would get a weekend this time around. But I didn't get a weekend this time. They offered a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So now I got 3 shows. And I think that they may have been a little bit skeptical of me, of like, is he a weekend guy? Is he weekend Will? Or is he weekday Will? Can he really move tickets like that? Let's maybe give him another chance during the week to see what he can really do. Because this is a competitive club to get into. So I think they were a little skeptical, which is fine. I have no ego. I love proving myself. The underdog, I thrive like that. So I'm happy to do these shows. And it was so cool because the ticket sales for last time, again, it was like 140 sold out. And then the other show was, I think, 115. So I think I sold around 250 between the 2 shows. Oh, and I also did like the Suburb Club on the Thursday. So that was kind of like, instead of doing the suburbs, do downtown Chicago. Anyways, leading up to it, dude, the ticket sales were so good. The Thursday show sold out a week in advance. And that was huge. Because again, it was like, now I'm already doing better than I did last year. And just continuously doing better and better and better. To now, it was like, you know, I was damn near close to selling out all the shows. And, you know, if we're flashing forward here, Wednesday also sold out. Like day of, that sold out. So now Wednesday, Thursday sold out. And then the Tuesday was about 12 tickets shy. So your boy moved tickets. Shout out to Chicago. If you're watching this, dude, like, thank you, man. I was so close to selling out all the shows. That would have been unbelievable. And I'm just really, really grateful. And, you know, that's like a direct measure of growth, right? Like comparing last year to this year, it's like such a direct measure. And the growth feels so good, man. I'm waking up to like 1,000 new Instagram followers pretty much every day. And that's huge, man. I work so hard at this. You guys know me. And it feels so good to just be growing, man, because I'm getting better. More eyes are on me, and I'm ready for the eyeballs, you know? Give me the eyeballs, said Hannibal Lecter. I love Chicago also because it's such an easy place to get to. Like, I'm going to other places like Richmond, Virginia, or like Stamford, Connecticut. It's like these are layover cities. But Chicago's just straight shot, dude. No biggie. Guy sitting, quick travel. So we'll do the travel part first. Guy sitting next to me, I was in the window, always in the middle. Guy sitting next to me, no headphones, was doing WhatsApp voice memos. So he would listen to a voice memo and then, so he thought, quietly say the voice memo into the phone. Hey, guy, have headphones. When people don't have headphones, it blows my mind. That's like the only thing you need to travel with is headphones. So this guy's out here just like as if it's I don't even know what to equate it to. It's like a walkie-talkie. I actually couldn't believe it. I pay attention to everything, so it's just, people are so funny sometimes. This dude, not only did he have headphones, but he was trying to sleep with his arm like resting on the seat in front of him like this. I'm like, bro, who are we fooling? You're not sleeping. Don't pretend like you're sleeping. It's like, no, this is how I can sleep like this. This is how I sleep. Yeah. No, this is a normal way to sleep. I can for sure sleep. It's like, dude, he would do this for like 30 seconds and be like, what am I doing? Back to my walkie-talkie. Nice guy. He aggressively like sanitized the seat and everything. So I was like, that's my guy right there. Never seen someone else on a plane do that. I don't wipe down much anymore. I don't actually think I wipe. I used to. Oh, if I can, I always wipe down the back of the headrest and like the arm rests. That's about it. But this dude was like spraying the whole back of the seat, everything, as if he was like hired to clean the plane. And I was here for it. I was like, bro, go for it, man. Dude, spray me down too. I'll answer your WhatsApp voice memos. Got in the Uber, and this has happened before. And here's something I feel very strongly about. I get in the Uber, nice guy. He's like, hey, and I'm like, hey. And he says, and I hear him go, oh, home now? And I said, excuse me? And he says, not you. He's on the phone. So he's like, home now? I'm like, yeah, nah. And he's like, not you. And I'm like, oh, silly me. Why would I think you were talking to me, huh? You talking to the ghosts? Who are you talking to? Sorry for thinking that you're talking to the only other person in the car. My bad. That's my bad. Am I wrong for what I'm about to say. Uber drivers, get off the fucking phone. Sorry to swear so aggressively, but get off the goddamn phone. If I'm in the car for 20 minutes, it's like, dude, this guy was yapping. Yeah, so he's like doing politics. Yeah, well, people got to get out and vote, and if they don't, and the restrictions, and people open the business, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, I'm here. I'm paying you to take me to a place, and maybe it's like, I'm trying to think of the other perspective. I'm very open-minded. I'm trying to think of like, is he like, you're in my car, so I do whatever I want? You're lucky that I'm giving you a ride? Or it's like, I'm the one paying you for a service. It's just like, don't be on the phone. Right? It feels like I'm crazy sometimes when so many Uber drivers will be yapping. This isn't Yapper. This is Uber. It really annoys me, man. I almost want to get on the phone and like start talking really loud too and see like who can talk louder. I don't get it. Tell me I'm wrong. In the comments, tell me I'm wrong. It was so weird being back in Chicago though, because again, like went to college here, and I'm so glad I did, because Chicago is such like I felt like I grew up in Chicago. I moved here when I was 18, I think it was 18 or 19, 18, I think. And, I came from like a very safe suburbs of Northern California where life was very cushy. And all of a sudden I'm thrust into just like a big city with like big movement, wild people. Dude, I was taking the train to class every day. Or if you're a Midwesterner, class. Taking a train to class every day, and I'm like amongst the people. I'm amongst the humans. And I'm like 18-year-old suburb Will with my little backpack on. And I'm like, we got homeless people, we got business people. Dude, it was like I had to kind of grow up and be an adult. First time on the train, I fell. Didn't hang on to anything, got cocky, fell. And it was a legit culture shock, and it taught me to very much like be aware of my surroundings and just I'm in a big city, and it was exactly what I needed. In addition to the weather, I think it was really important for me to experience weather, because in Northern California, it's beautiful, but in Chicago, it's scary. It was good for me to experience winter. I'd never experienced winter like that. You visit snow and you're like, this is fun. I have gloves on. But when you wake up for class and it's 0 degrees, dude, that's crazy. There's no degrees. There's no degrees. 0. There's none of them. And the wind chill is negative 317. And I got to go to class. I got to walk to the train 10 minutes, just getting beat up by the wind. Just getting interrogated by the wind. Just it hurts. It feels like needles. And I'm sitting, and you wait for the train. Let's say you missed the train. Now you're waiting for the train. Get off get on the train. Hot, sweating. Get off the train, walk to class, another 10 minutes. Just, God, the wind's like, tell me what you know. And I'm like, I don't know anything. Brutal. But it was so good for me. Granted, when I was done with it, I was like, hey, get me the fuck out of the Midwest. I can't believe how many people live here. It's miserable for 8 months. That's crazy. That's what makes the summer so nice, because people get to leave their house. They're like, oh, wow. Whose joke is that? Maybe this is a Brent Morin joke. Who has the joke where they're like, what's that in the sky? You're like, that's the sun. That's such a Brent thing. Yeah, it's got to be him. I was going to say that on stage, but I was like, that's someone else's. I can't say that. Like people, going out from their caves. So it was really good for me to be in Chicago. And it was really good to be back in Chicago, because every time I get off a plane at LAX, every time I get off the plane, I'm always in a place that I don't know. I'm always like, all right, here's another random place that all looks the same. All of a sudden I get off and I'm in the Uber driver with, Captain Yapper. And I'm like, oh, I know where I am. I know this thing. I know that thing. I know this neighborhood. It was so comforting. Like, I know this place. It feels really nice. Great, again, and great hotel room. Really lucked out. Everything I liked. It's like a legit perfect hotel room. I like the air conditioning system. I like the bed. The pillows are actual real pillows instead of the lotion pillows that you sink the fuck into. Dude, they have a water, like a high level premium water dispenser. High level. It purifies it like 7 different ways, and it has a foot pedal. Dude, iconic. Never been happier. I'm hydrated and I'm germ-free. What's better? Your boy's comfy. First night, the hotel alarm clock went off at 6 a.m. That was fun. I wasn't even mad. I was just like, oh, that's hilarious. I can't believe that happened. Sometimes I get mad at things. I can have a bit of a temper sometimes with little things like that, but that just made me laugh. I was like, okay, funny, whatever, go back to sleep. Let's talk about shows. So the club itself, and I forgot to take a really good picture of it. This is the best picture I kind of got. It's a very unique club in where not only is it pretty small, but it's also it's like long and narrow. Pause. It's just like a very like the stage. You don't have a lot of space to move around, and it's like you're performing in a hallway. No club is like that, but it can be like a kill box, dude. It can be a just murder city. You can kill so hard in that room, they can make a Netflix documentary about you. It's no joke. And I hadn't been on that stage in a minute, so I actually was like, I wasn't nervous to get on stage, but I was definitely like a little, I don't know what the word is, like unsure of how I was going to feel up there. And just, I was a little just, I don't know how to describe it. I was just maybe nervous. It's just a different type of setup. And didn't know how I was going to feel. A lot, again, the show was packed Tuesday, and I was stoked, and I get up there and I start doing a few jokes, and dude, it was a surprisingly a tough crowd. Before I say other things, I want to make a disclaimer that everyone at the show had a great time. I had a great set, all good, right? Let me say that. Now, you're tuning into the podcast to hear what the real shit's going on, what I'm really feeling, right? So with all that to be said, again, I got so many nice messages about Tuesday. The vibes are up, but I had a really hard time. They made me work. It felt like they had already heard all these jokes before. Something felt off, and my game plan with the sets is, and I don't know if I've said this before, but when I go back to the city for the second time, I will do a fairly similar set. A couple new things. And all the crowd work. So it's, again, you're seeing plenty of new stuff. If I go to the city for the third time, that has to be like a totally different set. At least like 80% different, right? So second time, if you saw me last year in Chicago, it's a similar set. Similar opening, similar closing. You know, the bangers are pretty similar. A couple new things in there. And so it really felt like everyone had already heard the jokes before. That first 15 minutes was like, did you guys see me in Virginia last week? Like, what? It really felt like they just didn't like the jokes very much. And like my closer, which is a very reliable joke, it did probably the worst it's ever done. So it was that type of show. And it was like, I was bummed when I got off stage because I was really surprised. I did not expect that. And maybe that's on me for having high expectations, but it's like, how could you not? A big city, packed show? I don't know, dude. It definitely got in my head a little bit for various reasons. It was kind of like, oh, should I be doing newer jokes? Am I not as good as I thought I was? I mean, dude, it's like in stand-up, sometimes you're only as good as your last set. That's how it feels. You got to sit with that until your next set. And I was just like, is this what the rest of the shows are going to feel like? Are these going to be like kind of hard? And I'm talking about how great the room is. The room can be kind of hard because of the length of it. You sometimes will feel a little bit detached from the back of the room. So I was like a little bit nervous. Like, what's the rest of the show's going to feel like? What are the rest of the shows going to feel like? And I remember last year, I remember of the Tuesday, Wednesday, I remember Tuesday I got 0 clips from. But I don't remember feeling that bummed when I got off stage. And then I remember the Wednesday was like on fire. So I was holding out hope for Wednesday. I was like, okay, maybe it was just a weird Tuesday vibe. It's just, we have 2 more shows, right? Here's something I really need to stop doing is like when the manager of the club is like, hey, what'd you think? Here's what I need to start saying every single time. Yeah, it was great, man. Had a fun time. Here's what I said that time. Man, that was a tough crowd. Yeah, the closer, that was like the worst that joke's ever done. I don't know what's going on. And in my mind, I'm like, hey, Will, shut the fuck up. Just be all good. Be like, it's a fun time, man. All good. And then when I leave the club, that's when I can start bitching. That was something that I'm actually glad that I did it. And I've done that before. Sometimes I just can be way too honest. And I kind of like wear my feelings on my sleeve or whatever that expression is. I have a really hard time holding in how I feel. That's why sometimes I'll do shows and I'll be like, hey, what's going on with you guys? You guys are, do you not like me? It's like, after doing this for 10 years, it's like I have a hard time keeping in my feelings. And I'm glad I did that here because I don't want to be that honest with managers. I just want to shut up around them and just be all good, because I'm a really easy guy to work with and people like me. So I just want to be like, all good, everything's great. So I'm glad I did it this time so I can learn from that. I love the mindset of like, there's no mistakes, there's only lessons. And that was a lesson I learned of like, just be cool. And what made me feel really nice is one of the other managers, Armando, shout out to him, the best. All the managers were awesome, but the reason I bring up Armando is because he was the only one that was like, yeah, man, kind of tough crowd. Do you know how much that means to me? You know how validating that is? That made me feel so good when he said that. I was like, dude, thank you. Like, I felt like I was crazy. I was like, that crowd was kind of hard, right? And no one was like, that was a good show. And he was like, nah, man, like, they were kind of tough. I was like, man, thank God. But again, like I said in the disclaimer, none of this really matters because everyone had a great time. So it's like, that's what matters. But we're coming to the pod here. You're coming to the Willie B pod for the real shit, for the real human experience of what it's like to be a comic. And that's what I felt Tuesday night. Little in my head. And so Wednesday comes along, which is last night now. Again, I'm recording this the day you're seeing it. If you're watching this live, or not live, the day it comes out, Thursday. So last night was Wednesday. So going into Wednesday, it was kind of high stakes because I was like, dude, this show is a big deal for my mental health. Dude, if it's another bad show, then I'm going to start to get really insecure. Because then I'm going to be like, is it me? What happened? What happened to me? I had 2 weeks off. What changed? I really just need to get my confidence back. And I remember when I came out on stage, I was like, I'm coming out swinging. It's like I had the mindset of like, I'm going to crush. Like I came out super high energy, sharp, dialed in, caffeinated, ready. I was like, I'm going to do everything I can to crush this set. And guess what? The show was fire. Top to bottom. One of my favorite sets. Isn't that crazy? What a difference a day makes. It was like I felt like a different person. I felt on Tuesday like a new headliner, and this one felt like I'd been headlining for years. It was just a perfect example of what a roller coaster comedy can be. This shit is just so up and down, and I have a note in my phone to always remind myself to ride the wave. You got to just ride with the ups and downs. That's all a part of it. But when you're in the downs, it's really hard. Because stand-up is so personal. It's like if you don't do well on stage, it's like an entire group of people being like, we don't like you and how you think about the world and what you think is funny. But when you do well, it's the same thing. It's like, we love you, we love who you are and how you think. Gotta just ride the wave. Easier said than done. I tell you what, man, there were so many fun crowd moments. There were so many great moments. I legit think I got like 3 clips just from that show alone. It was that type of show. It felt so good. It was one of the happiest I've been getting off stage because I was like, the relief. The like, okay, I still got it. And some of you are probably rolling your eyes. You're like, motherfucker, you been had it. You didn't lose it for one show. But dude, sorry, I got in my head. And it was such a relief. Also, when you do 3 shows, I am always like, dude, I need one fire one at least. Give me the one that's a heater. And so I got that. So there's so many good emotions. There's so many good feelings. Armando was there too, and he was like, that's what I'm talking about. I was like, right? That's a fucking show. Oh, it felt so good. Really good. And so now tonight we got one more show, and this is the one that sold out a week early. So, I have semi-high expectations because this was the one that sold out first, so I feel like all my fans are at this one. But who knows, dude? Who knows? I'm just happy that I had that one, right? Last thing I want to talk about is I got a really, really nice message, and it's related to something that happened during the show. So we all know at this point, your boy's the king of the gay fans, right? I have a lot of gay fans, and it's awesome. The more and more I've done shows, they are some of the best fans ever. I've said that before. They laugh. They don't get offended easily. They just are. They drink. They're not disrespectful. They're just like awesome. Like such a good vibe, right? And I think they like me because they also feel comfortable at my shows. They know I'm not going to be offensive. I'm not going to attack them. They feel safe, which is like cool. That's what I want. I want people to come into my shows, no matter what your sexuality is. I don't give a fuck. I just want you to feel good and have a good time and be happy. And be happy that you got a babysitter and paid all the money and bought the 2 drinks. And you're like, oh, that was a nice time. I didn't come here and get bummed out or made fun of. It's like, no, I want you to have fun. And so I'm going to kind of reenact something that happened during the show. So I was talking to like a girl in the front row who, like, I asked her about like who she's dating or something like that. And she was like, oh, I got ghosted by this guy named Nick. And I was like, oh, is there any Nicks here? I was like, oh, what if he's here? And there was like a few people that said like, yeah, like I'm Nick. And I was like, or like one person was like, I'm Nick. I was like, oh shit, what if that's him? Ha 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 ha. And then I was like, are you the Nick? And he says, no, I'm gay. And the room like exploded. It was like, dude, his timing was unbelievable. Dude, the room exploded. You'll see the clip. And so after that, he said something. I forget why he brought this up, but he said, because he was like, the girl and the other Nick guy, they like met somewhere in the city, and he said like, no, I'm just being gay in the suburbs, something like that. And then I did my brain went to, I was like, damn, that sounds like a TV show, Gay in the Suburbs. And then I said on stage, I said, this is my impression of Gay in the Suburbs. Fucking cul-de-sac. And big laugh, right? Big laugh. But I already knew where the kind of a big gay group was in the front. And I actually asked them, I was like, hey guys, I know I just did the voice. Was that cool? Like, was that offensive? I want to be respectful to you guys. Is that cool that I did that? And they were like, yeah, all good. So that's what happened, right? So again, I kind of checked in with them. I was like, because I don't want to be like stereotypical. I don't want to be disrespectful. Like, it's all very important to me. So I want to just check in with them. So that happened. And then I got this message from a guy named Chris. This tied into just what I'm talking about. I just thought this was really sweet. And this is my goal. And I feel very validated. He said, hey, just want to say thank you for a great show tonight. As a queer man, comedy spaces don't feel the safest sometimes, depending on who's performing. But the way you made it such a positive space and checked in with the crowd really made the show that much more enjoyable for me. Gave a lot of people more comfortability to laugh and just have a good time. You speak with such respect, and it means a lot. You rock, and hope to catch you next time you're in Chicago. So it just made me feel really good, man, because that fan base is really important to me, and I want to make sure they feel comfortable. So that was really nice. That's kind of where I'm going to end the podcast, on that nice note. Again, everyone's welcome at my show. I don't really care who you like to hook up with. Just come and have a good time. And but I also want to be respectful. And I tell you what, man, no one is meaner in the comments than Facebook. I had to go through and do a little bit of damage control on one of my latest clips, because it's like I asked about it if a guy likes men or women, and Instagram, I did a quick damage control with a comment. People knew what I meant. And then Facebook, I forgot to do it there. And everyone was like kind of lighting me up in the comments a little bit of like, you can't ask someone's sexuality, or people think I'm like, they don't know me, so they think I'm like disrespectful. It's like Facebook is like the worst. It's like the worst people are on Facebook. So it's like, I'm saying all this to say, it's like I had to go in and be like, no guys, I'm an ally. It's all good. Like, all good vibes here. I'm not disrespectful. And so I don't know why I brought that up. I think I needed to just vent about that, because that's what I was doing before I started the podcast, just going through Facebook, replying to a few people being like, dude, relax. I'm not an asshole. I'm on your side. So anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning into the pod. I'm probably going to start doing a lot more of these on the road, because I am doing a lot less weekends. It's going to be back to kind of the Wednesday, Thursday show. So your boy may have to do a little hotel pods, little ironing board camera pods. And I appreciate you tuning in. Sorry for the delay. It's up a day later, but whatever, dude. We don't have sponsors. It's just us. Whatever, man. Come see me in San Diego. Come see me in New York City. I can't wait to see you guys on the road. And, dude, enjoy the weekend. Hopefully it's nice where you are. Go outside, take a walk, put your phone away, live life, dude. Ride the wave. I'll see you guys next week.